The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, one of the most beloved games ever made. It's critically known for its amazing RPG elements, storyline, and graphics. But the game was released almost 10 years ago, so how does it compare to modern games? And is it still worth buying? Now, The Witcher 3 takes place in various regions, and the atmosphere is rich with detail, from the lush forests to the rugged mountains. But each area feels alive, and is meticulously designed in its own way. Now, the primary focus of the game is on the storytelling and exploration. You will take on the role of Geralt of Rivia, a seasoned monster hunter, and you are on a quest to find your adopted daughter Ciri. And the game balances its epic main storyline with numerous side quests, monster contracts, and treasure hunts, each offering their own unique stories and challenges. And the world of Witcher is vast and open, and actually invites you to explore every nook and cranny if you so choose. And it does this by combining deep role-playing elements with action-packed combat, allowing you to tailor your own experience through your skill trees, alchemy, and crafting. But what truly sets the game apart is its unparalleled storytelling, the complex characters, and the moral choices that have real consequences. The game's narrative depth, combined with its rich world and engaging gameplay, create an experience that is both immersive and memorable, and is truly a dream game for any RPG fans. Imagine that you're tasked with investigating a series of mysterious disappearances in a small village. Upon arrival, you speak with the locals, you gather clues, and use your richer senses to uncover a hidden cave. Inside, you might find a mystical beast that has been preying on this village. You can then either choose to negotiate, perhaps convincing it to leave, or you can decide to engage in combat. And all of these choices will have different outcomes, not only for you, but also for the villagers and your relationships. And The Witcher 3 contains traditional RPG elements. You have a fast-paced combat system where you need to dodge, parry, and be quick on your feet. You also have alchemy, where you gotta brew potions, bombs, and oils that can provide massive combat advantages. This is then also tied into the crafting, where you can create your own armor and weapons. And as you travel through the world, that is where you find the regions to create all of this, which also ties into the skill tree, where you can choose and develop your own combat style. Do you want to focus more on the combat or the alchemy? This system allows for incredible diverse playstyles, and all of this is tied into the game's progression that is extremely well paced. You'll start off with simpler quests. This will give you the basics of learning combat exploration and are pretty straightforward. But then as you progress throughout the game, the quests will become more intricate, requiring deeper exploration and critical decision making. And then towards the end game, the stakes are way higher. You have complex narrative and formidable foes, and all the choices you make throughout the game will lead to a different ending, adding a ton of replay value. What also adds replay value is your option of game difficulties. You have a range of difficulty settings that can cater to both new players and pro gamers. This could be the easy mode, where you're basically just involved with the storyline, where the enemies are way less aggressive and deal a lot less damage. Then you have the normal mode, the hard mode, and the very hard mode, which is made for the most hardcore of hardcore players. Although I do recommend starting on normal mode for your first playthrough, as the game will have a bit of a tutorial at the start. Now, while you're exploring the world and completing quests and advancing in the storyline, some of the things you will notice is the graphics, the sound, and the atmosphere. The textures are actually still pretty high quality, and while some games do look quite bad 5 to 10 years after release, The Witcher 3 still holds its own, with detailed environments, character models, and a dynamic weather system that creates a really visually rich world. This is also seen in the ambient sounds, like the rustling leaves, the chirping birds, and distant thunderstorms. And don't even get me started on the music. It is hauntingly beautiful at times, and really complements the game's epic and emotional moments. And all of this leads to a really good atmosphere that really compels and immerses you into the world. This could be seen in the environmental details, the rich lore, and the game's ability to really evoke emotions through its storytelling, music, and visuals. So with all that said, what are some pros and cons of the game? The first pro is definitely the expansive world. The open world is amazing and offers a really vast and beautifully crafted open world that is filled with diverse landscapes, vibrant cities, and hidden secrets. And you could spend hundreds and hundreds of hours exploring, discovering, and immersing yourself into the richly detailed environment. The next pro is the deep and engaging storyline. It is well developed, with characters and emotional depth, and this also ties into the side quests, where your interactions are equally as rich, often presenting you a moral dilemmas and choices that will impact the world around you. And honestly, I could go on and on. You have the high quality graphics, you have the complex combat system, the extensive customization, crafting, and the immersive atmosphere. As you can probably tell, I love this game. But what are some of the cons then? Well, the first is a steep learning curve. However, if you're not used to RPGs, the game's complexity and depth can be quite overwhelming and may take some time to learn the combat mechanics, the crafting systems, and understanding the storyline. The next con is the performance issues. Now these are not in general, but mostly on lower end hardware. So definitely make sure that you check the recommended requirement system to see if your PC can actually run it. So with all of that out of the way, let's grade the game. The first thing grading on is the gameplay. And The Witcher 3 excels in providing a rich and engaging gameplay experience. The intricate combat system, the extensive customization, and deep crafting mechanics really create a dynamic and immersive adventure. And here I have to give it a 9 out of 10, as it is truly a masterpiece. The next thing I'm grading on is the graphics and immersion. And here I have to give it a 10 out of 10. The game's visuals are stunning, with highly detailed environments, realistic character models, and a really dynamic weather system that really appeals to a highly immersive experience. And the world actually feels alive as you're progressing through it, and really draws you into its universe. And the final thing I'm grading on is the replayability and the progression. And the game has a vast open world, branching storylines, and a plethora of side quests, and offers a great amount of replayability. Not only that, the progression system, which allows for significant character customization and development. This will keep you engaged as you strive towards improving your skills and equipment. And here I give it an 8 out of 10. While the progression itself is probably a 9 or a 10 out of 10, the replayability can lag a little bit sometimes. Some of the combat encounters will be a bit repetitive, but the overall depth and variety ensures that you have plenty of reasons to return to the game later on. The overall grade is therefore a 9 out of 10. And since the release, The Witcher 3 has set a benchmark in the RPG world, delivering a masterful blend of narrative depth, great visuals, and engaging gameplay. The game's optional difficulty and challenging mechanics will cater to the more hardcore RPG fans, while the rich storytelling and immersive world will appeal to a broader audience. And the game is overall a must-play for RPG fans. If you're looking for a deeply immersive world with a great blend of storytelling, gameplay, and visual excellence, and it is truly a standout title in the RPG genre. If you are still looking for more games to play, I highly recommend checking out the video on the screen now, as that will contain a list of the best PC games to play right now. So check out that video, and I'll see you over there.